Hitting on first-round picks is always helpful in building a long-term championship window. But what separates the champions from everyone else? Well, their ability to find big-time players after round one. So with that, how about we dive into the biggest draft steal on every NFL roster right now? Arizona Cardinals, Trey McBride. There were some questions about the Cardinals using the number 55 pick of 2022 on McBride, since they already had Zach Ertz on a tight end. Well, it turns out that Arizona knew exactly what they were doing all along, which is kind of surprising. McBride has grown into one of the game's few elite tight ends despite shaky quarterback play from Kyler Murray. He put the league on notice in 2024 with 111 catches for 1,146 yards and 2 touchdowns. If Arizona can ever find an above-average QB, their offense will be set up for years to come, especially with McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. leading the way. Atlanta Falcons, Jesse Bates III. One of the league's most well-rounded safeties, Bates was selected 54th overall by the Cincinnati Bengals back in 2018. But he has taken his game to a whole nother level since signing a 4-year, $64 million deal with the Falcons in 2023 free agency. Atlanta caught a lot of heat for that move at the time, but Bates and cornerback A.J. Terrell have gone on to form one of the best defensive back tandems in the game. They're at least doing their part in giving the Falcons a fighting chance each game. Baltimore Ravens, Roger Rosengarten. 2024 second-round pick has been no slouch himself. The number 64 pick of that class has become one of the league's elite pass-blocking defensive tackles this year. His run blocking needs some work, but hey, he's done his job in keeping Lamar Jackson upright. And to think, Rosengarten hasn't even reached his ceiling yet. Buffalo Bills, Matt Milano. Bills GM Brandon Beane has a shaky track record outside of the first round. But at least he found a needle in a haystack when he grabbed Milano in round 5 at number 163 overall back in 2017. Milano has been a key cog on Buffalo's defense for 9 years. Unfortunately, injuries have mostly kept him on the sidelines over the last 3 years. But hey, don't overlook the former All-Pro linebacker's contributions to helping Buffalo re-emerge in the AFC. Carolina Panthers, Chuba Hubbard. The Panthers have drafted poorly in the post-Cam Newton era, but they do occasionally find an unexpected gem. Take the case of Oklahoma State running back Chuba Hubbard, the number 126 pick of 2021 in round 4. After spending his first 2 years as a backup, Hubbard broke out in 2023 with 902 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. A year later, he rushed for 1,195 yards and 10 touchdowns, posting a career-high 1,366 yards of offense. Not too bad for a little-known Canadian kid who waited and watched 125 guys go before him. Chicago Bears. Jalen Johnson. Now that the Bears have returned to relevance under Ben Johnson, it feels like their star cornerback is finally getting some love. The number 5 pick of the 2020 draft has quietly been one of the league's best cover corners since his rookie season. Over his first 5 NFL campaigns, Johnson had 7 interceptions and 49 pass breakups, which, hey, is pretty good for a guy from the later rounds. Cincinnati Bengals, Trey Hendrickson. It was the New Orleans Saints who drafted Hendrickson 103rd overall in 2017, but it was the Bengals who fully unlocked his potential after signing Hendrickson in 2021 free agency. In his first 4 seasons as a Bengal, Hendrickson racked up 57 sacks, including 17.5 sack outings in 2023 and 2024 alone. His efforts helped Cincy to 2021 and 2022 AFC Championship game appearances and a trip to Super Bowl 56. Cleveland Browns, Joel Bitonio. The Browns wasted their pair of first-round picks in the dream 2014 NFL Draft, selecting 2 megabusts in Justin Gilbert and Johnny Manziel. But hey, on the bright side, they still came away with 1 perennial Pro Bowler in Nevada offensive lineman Joel Bitonio, the number 35 pick of that year. Bitonio has been a rock in Cleveland with 7 Pro Bowl nods, 2 first-team, and 3 second-team All-Pro selections. Oh, and of course, he led the Browns to a rare playoff appearance in 2020 and 2023. Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. Hey, say what you want about his lack of playoff success, but when you are a 3-time Pro Bowler with over 30,000 passing yards and 5 playoff appearances under your belt, well, you're certainly better than most. Oh, and did we mention that Prescott was a 4th-round pick at number 135 overall in 2016? And to think, there were QBs like Connor Cook, Christian Hackenberg, Cody Kessler, and Paxton Lynch drafted before him. Denver Broncos, Nick Bonito. The Broncos have laid out a clear blueprint for rebuilding a team properly. Simply keep drafting great defensive players. From Patrick Surtain II to Nick Bonito to Jonathan Cooper, the Broncos might have the league's best young defensive nucleus in the game. And that's before mentioning veteran add-ons like Zach Allen and Talanoa Hufanga. But Bonito takes the cake here as the best active steal on the Broncos. He wasn't taken until round 2 at number 64 overall in 2022. And now Bonito is among the league's elite pass rushers, forming a virtually unstoppable tandem with Cooper. Alas, their championship window is suddenly wide open. Detroit Lions, Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not many people made a big deal when the Lions used the 112th selection on the USC wideout in 2021. Yet, here we are 4 years later, and St. Brown has only emerged as one of the NFL's premier wide receivers. Instrumental in the Lions' rise to NFC powerhouse, St. Brown eclipsed the 90-catch and 1,100-yard marks 3 straight years from 2022 to 2024. I don't think it's too early to question a Hall of Fame case, especially if he leads the Lions to their first Super Bowl. Green Bay Packers, Romeo Doubs. The Packers have a neat history of drafting stud wide receivers after the first round. Doubs, the number 132 pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, is one shining example of this. He doesn't put up flashy all-world numbers, but he's been a steady number 2 pass-catching option for Jordan Love during the latter's rise to stardom. He'll likely walk in 2026 free agency, but hey, don't be surprised if Doubs becomes a 1,000-yard receiver in an expanded role elsewhere. Houston Texans, Nico Collins. Still recovering from Bill O'Brien's mind-numbing DeAndre Hopkins trade, the Texans' new regime found the perfect replacement when they least expected it. Michigan wideout Nico Collins with the number 89 pick in 2021. After 2 meh seasons to begin his career, Collins has reached Pro Bowl status with consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. CJ Stroud and Collins have been a dynamic QB receiver duo, helping the Texans to AFC South Division titles in 2023 and 2024. Indianapolis Colts, Jonathan Taylor. We know it's not overly difficult to find stud running backs after round 1, but man, in hindsight, it is mind-boggling that 40 players were selected before JT in 2020. The Colts struck gold when they grabbed Taylor at number 41 overall that year. If not for injuries in 2022 and 2023, he would have opened his career with 6 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. But hey, the Colts will still take a player who's in the midst of a second MVP caliber year. It's a darn shame that they wasted that 2021 campaign where he won the rushing title with 1,811 yards and 18 touchdowns. Jacksonville Jaguars, Foyesade Oluokun. At first, nobody understood the Jaguars' decision to sign Oluokun to a 3-year, $45 million deal in 2022 free agency. The 200th overall pick of 2018 wasn't exactly a standout in his 4 years with the Falcons after all, but Oluokun has earned every penny of that deal, becoming a Swiss Army knife on the Jaguars' defense. He led the NFL in solo tackles during the 2022 and 2023 seasons and has been among the league's best linebackers in coverage. Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce. The first round of the 2013 NFL Draft left a lot to be desired. But subsequent day 2 picks like Kelce helped the class's reputation a bit. He was a 3rd-round pick at number 63 overall, having fallen because of, character concerns in college. Kelce may not be at the peak of his powers anymore, but hey, we are talking about arguably the best tight end in NFL history. 10 Pro Bowl nods, 5 AFC championships, and 3 Super Bowl rings to his name. The Chiefs simply aren't a dynasty without Taylor Swift's man. Las Vegas Raiders, Max Crosby. Hey, no debate here. Crosby is a top 5 defensive player in the game and right on the path to a spot in the Hall of Fame. Oh, and did we mention he was a 4th-round pick at number 106 overall in 2019? Now just imagine if the Raiders had just hit on all 3 first-round picks that they had that year. Oh well. Los Angeles Chargers, Keenan Allen. Not even the most optimistic Chargers fan could have thought Allen would become the all-time franchise receptions leader when he entered the NFL in 2013. He was far from highly touted as a 3rd-round pick, number 76 overall of the Bolts that year. But hey, the 6-time Pro Bowler has been a model of consistency for more than a decade now. You'd have more than 6 1,000-yard seasons if not for injuries. But he has nonetheless exceeded all expectations as a former 3rd-round pick. Los Angeles Rams, Puka Nacua. Hey, no need to question this one. Nacua is a top 5, heck, maybe top 3 receiver in the entire game. Nobody could have envisioned this before his 2023 rookie year. I mean, since when do 5th-round picks, in Nacua's case, the number 177 selection, ever become big deals? Oh yeah, I guess guys like Puka do. Oh well, next! Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill. We probably won't see the superstar version of Hill again, but hey, 8 Pro Bowl nods, 5 first-team All-Pro selections, a Super Bowl 54 ring, and a guaranteed spot in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, I'd say that's pretty dang good for a former 5th-round pick that watched 164 guys get called before him back in 2016. Minnesota Vikings, Jonathan Grenard. Grenard was a late bloomer, finally breaking out in year 4 when he logged 12.5 sacks for the Texans in 2023. That earned a multi-year deal from the Vikings in free agency, and the number 90 pick in 2020 has been entirely worth it. Grenard earned his first Pro Bowl nod in 2024 after helping the Vikings to 14 wins, their best since 1998. And Grenard has proven to be tailor-made for Brian Flores' blitz-happy defense. New England Patriots, Stephon Diggs. Williams. Another entry here that requires zero debate. The 2015 fifth-round pick has greatly exceeded expectations as a four-time Pro Bowl wideout with 6 straight 1K seasons from 2018 to 2023. Guys like Case Keenum, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, and Drake May all put up their best numbers while throwing to Diggs. Coincidence? We think not. New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara. The Saints' ridiculous 2021 draft class netted Marshawn Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, Marcus Williams, Alvin Kamara, and Trey Hendrickson. Quick question. How the heck did they not win a Super Bowl with that haul? Oh well. Anyway, Kamara is the last of that bunch still on the Saints. Kamara, who has stressed that he is a Saint for life, has 5 Pro Bowl nods with over 12,000 yards from scrimmage under his belt. Depending on how much longer he plays, he could finish with over 10K rushing and over 5K receiving yards. Seriously, how were 66 guys drafted before him in 2017? New York Giants, Wan'Dale Robinson. The options are limited here, especially given that the Giants' best players are all former first-round picks, and that they haven't exactly owned the second and third rounds. But the Giants' 2022 second-round pick, Wan'Dale Robinson, has started to come around after a slow start to his career. The former number 43 overall pick caught 93 passes for 699 yards and 3 TDs last year, and should finish with new career highs this season. New York Jets, Quincy Williams. The Jaguars drafted Quinn's younger brother with a number 98 pick in 2019. 95 spots after the Jets took him with the 3rd overall selection. Quincy never quite found his game in Jacksonville, but he has been a rock on the Jets' D since they claimed him off of waivers in 2021. This do-it-all linebacker earned first-team All-Pro nods in 2023 and has been especially dominant in run defense. Hey, perhaps a second Williams brother reunion in Dallas will happen one day. Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. You could make cases for guys like A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens, Cooper DeJean, and Nakobe Dean. But when you find a true franchise-changing QB after round 1, well, he's going to get priority 9 times out of 10. With Carson Wentz already under center, everyone scoffed at Philly for taking Hurts with the number 53 pick in 2020. Well, joke's on the haters. Wentz flamed out that year. Hurts became the starting QB late in the year and has already led Philly to 2 NFC championships. Oh, and of course, a Super Bowl 59 triumph. And surely more are on the way. Pittsburgh Steelers, DK Metcalf. It remains a travesty that 63 people were called before Metcalf in the receiver-heavy 2019 NFL Draft. But hey, previously the Seahawks and now the Steelers aren't whining. Metcalf has been one of football's premier receivers since his 2019 rookie year. From then till 2024, only 4 players had more receiving TDs than Metcalf's 48. He too is building a compelling Hall of Fame bid. San Francisco 49ers, Fred Warner. Part of us wanted to go with 2022 Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, but, well, the 4-time All-Pro is by far the NFL's best linebacker and is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. The number 70 pick of 2018 has led the 49ers to 4 NFC Championship game appearances and 2 Super Bowl berths. Nick Bosa gets all the love on the 49ers defense, but Warner is just as valuable, if not more. Seattle Seahawks, Boye Mafe. Part of the Seahawks' stacked 2022 NFL draft class, Mafe surprisingly didn't go until the number 40 slot to Seattle. But hey, the Hawks certainly aren't complaining. Mafe's stats don't always show it, but he's among the league's elite pass rushers and has really elevated his game under head coach Mike McDonald. Mafe, who had 15 sacks over the 2023 and 2024 seasons, is sure to strike it rich on his next deal. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Chris Godwin. Tough call between Godwin and Irving, but I think we're gonna have to go with Chris here because, well, he's kind of been around longer. Unfortunately, injuries have started to pile up on the 4-time 1,000-yard receiver since he helped the Bucs to a Super Bowl 55 title in 2020, but the number 84 pick of 2018 and Mike Evans will go down as one of the most dynamic receiving duos of this era. Without Evans and Godwin, Baker Mayfield wouldn't have enjoyed an unexpected career revival in Tampa. Tennessee Titans, Tony Pollard. As one of the league's worst drafting teams, the Titans made this an easy choice for us, and Pollard wasn't even drafted by Tennessee. A former 4th-round pick at number 128 overall by the Cowboys in 2019, Pollard logged back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for Dallas in 2022 and 2023 before signing with the Titans in 2024 free agency. Pollard then rushed for a career-high 1,079 yards that year and remains
the only real difference maker on Tennessee's atrocious offense.
Washington Commanders, Bobby Wagner. This surefire Hall of Famer has spent the bulk of his career with the Seattle Seahawks, but the 10-time Pro Bowler is still playing at a high level for Dan Quinn's squad.
So don't mind us for placing him in the century.
Most had thought that the Seahawks really reached for Wagner with the number 47 pick in 2012.
But oh, they knew what they were doing all along.
The 6-time first-team All-Pro led the Hawks to their first Super Bowl championship in the 2013 season and spent a decade as the real backbone of their defense. So hey, see you in Canton in your first year of eligibility, Bobby. You've certainly earned it. But hey, who do you think is the best draft steal in the NFL right now? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.